Welcome, dear heart. If you're here tonight, maybe it's because your soul is quietly searching for hope, for warmth, or just a place to breathe. You're safe here. The library clock struck 4:30. Young Ezra Martinez clutched his worn backpack tighter. His small fingers traced the zipper nervously. The weight of unfinished homework pressed down. The afternoon sun filtered through tall windows. Dust particles danced in golden beams. 8-year-old Ezra wore a faded blue hoodie. His sneakers squeaked against polished floors. The sound echoed in the silence. "Table 7 again today," whispered Ms. Chen. The young librarian watched him settle down. Her black hair was pulled back in a neat bun. She wore a soft lavender cardigan today. The same one for 3 weeks. Ezra pulled out crumpled homework sheets. His pencil moved slowly across paper. Math problems seemed impossible without help. Other kids had computers at home. He had nothing but determination. "I don't have a computer," he mumbled. His voice barely reached the silence. The words felt heavy somehow, like stones in his chest. Ms. Chen approached his table quietly. "Need help with those fractions, dear?" Her smile held genuine warmth. She had worked here 6 years. Seen hundreds of children come and go. Behind the reference desk sat someone new. A man in an expensive navy suit. His dark hair was perfectly styled. He typed rapidly on a laptop. The sound filled the quiet space. "Who's that guy?" Ezra whispered curiously. Ms. Chen glanced toward the stranger. Something flickered across her face. A recognition, perhaps. Or maybe concern. "Just a visitor," she said softly. "Focus on your homework now." The man watched Ezra from afar. His designer glasses reflected the computer screen. Something about the boy seemed familiar. Very familiar indeed. The way he held his pencil. The determined set of his shoulders. Days passed with the same routine. Ezra arrived after school promptly. He spread homework across table 7. The mysterious man always watched quietly, taking notes in a leather journal. "Why doesn't he have help?" the stranger asked Ms. Chen. His voice carried traces of concern. She recognized something in his tone, a protective quality she hadn't heard. "His aunt works 2 jobs, she explained. Single woman raising him alone. The man's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. His hands stilled on the keyboard. "What about his parents exactly?" Ms. Chen hesitated before answering carefully. "Father left when Ezra was 3. Mother died in a car accident." The man's hands trembled slightly. He closed his laptop immediately. "What was her name, please?" "Isabella Martinez," Ms. Chen replied gently. "Beautiful girl. Worked downtown somewhere." "Why do you ask, sir?" Color drained from the man's face. He stood up abruptly suddenly. "I need some fresh air." His voice cracked with emotion. Outside, the stranger leaned against brick. His name was Marcus Blackwood, CEO of TechVision Industries. 38 years old and successful. But right now he felt like the world was crumbling. Isabella Martinez had been his assistant. More than that, really. She'd been his closest friend. Her father had been Marcus's roommate. Back in college at Stanford. She'd worked for him 5 years. Brilliant, dedicated, impossibly kind. Never mentioned having a child. Never asked for help ever. Marcus remembered that terrible day. The phone call from police. Isabella's car had been hit by a drunk driver downtown. She'd died instantly, they said. He'd attended her funeral quietly. Sat in the back row. Grieved for someone he'd loved. Like his own sister. But there had been no child. No mention of a son. Had she hidden Ezra from him? And if so, why exactly? That evening, Ezra struggled alone again. His aunt worked late shifts. The apartment felt empty and cold. He wished someone cared enough to help with homework. The math problems seemed impossible tonight. Fractions mixed with his tears. He thought about his mother, the woman in old photographs, who smiled at him lovingly. "I miss you, Mama," he whispered. "I wish you were here." The silence answered him back. Heavy and complete like always. Meanwhile, Marcus sat in his office, researching everything about Isabella Martinez. Her employment records showed nothing about a child named Ezra, but her emergency contact listed Maria Santos as aunt, the same woman Ms. Chen had mentioned at the library. Marcus made a decision suddenly. He would help this boy. Isabella's son deserved better than struggling alone every single day. The next morning brought surprises. A brand new computer appeared mysteriously. It sat on table 7. A note was attached carefully, written in elegant handwriting. For a hard-working student, it read, "Keep dreaming big always. Education changes everything for everyone." Ezra's eyes widened with pure joy. Ms. Chen smiled knowingly from across. The mysterious man was nowhere visible, but she suspected his involvement. "Who brought this here?" Ezra asked excitedly. Ms. Chen simply shrugged her shoulders. "Sometimes good things just happen to deserving children like you." The computer changed everything for Ezra. His grades improved dramatically and quickly. He finished homework much faster. Other kids gathered around him, asking for help with assignments. "You're so lucky," said his classmate Tommy. "I wish I had that." Ezra felt important for once, like he mattered to someone. But the mysterious man disappeared completely. Ms. Chen seemed sadder somehow. She checked the reference desk. Empty for 3 days straight. "Where did he go?" Ezra asked. "The man in the suit." Ms. Chen's eyes grew distant. Sometimes people need time alone to process difficult emotions. Marcus was indeed processing emotions. In his office downtown, he'd hired a private investigator to learn more about Isabella and why she'd hidden Ezra. The report arrived via email. Isabella had been fired from her previous job downtown for taking too much time off for childcare responsibilities. She'd been a single mother, working multiple jobs to survive, too proud to ask for help from anyone ever. When Marcus hired her finally, she'd been desperate but determined. She'd worked harder than anyone, never complained about anything ever. But she'd never mentioned Ezra, never brought him to work, never asked for assistance with childcare or school expenses. Marcus realized the truth slowly. Isabella had been protecting him from feeling obligated to help. She'd wanted to earn everything on her own merit. A week later, unexpected visitors arrived. 2 men in dark suits. They asked about the computer. Ms. Chen directed them to Ezra. "Son, we need to talk," said the taller man. "About your new computer here." Ezra's heart sank into his stomach. "Did I do something wrong?" His voice cracked with fear. "I didn't steal it honestly." "Nothing wrong at all," the man smiled. "Someone wants to meet you. Someone very important who knew your mother years ago." A black sedan waited outside. Ezra had never seen anything so expensive and clean-looking. The leather seats felt soft, like sitting on clouds. They drove to a towering building. Glass and steel reached skyward. The elevator moved incredibly fast. Ezra's ears popped slightly from the sudden altitude change. The top floor held surprises. A man sat behind mahogany, the same mysterious library visitor. He looked different now somehow, vulnerable and almost broken. "Hello Ezra," he said quietly. "I'm Marcus Blackwood from TechVision." His voice carried unfamiliar emotion, raw and unguarded completely. "You're the computer guy," Ezra said. "The one who watched me." Marcus nodded slowly and carefully. "I've been watching you work. Your determination impressed me greatly, just like your mother's did." "Why?" Ezra asked with innocent curiosity. "I'm just a kid." Marcus stood up from his chair. He walked to the window. The city sprawled below endlessly, like a concrete ocean. "Your mother," he began softly. "Isabella Martinez was very special. She worked for me 5 years before she died tragically." Ezra's breath caught in throat. "You knew my mom really?" His eyes filled with tears. She died when I was 4 years old exactly. She was my assistant, Marcus continued. My best friend's daughter, actually. I watched her grow up, from a teenager to a young woman. Marcus turned to face Ezra directly. I loved your mother dearly. Not romantically, but like family. She was the sister I never had. She talked about you constantly, he continued. Her brilliant little boy always. She was so proud of your intelligence and kindness. Tears streamed down Ezra's cheeks. Why didn't you help us? His voice broke completely apart. We needed help so badly. Marcus sat down beside him. I didn't know you existed. She never told me about having a son at home. Why not? Ezra whispered through tears. Why wouldn't she tell you? She was proud, Marcus explained. Too proud to ask for help from anyone, including me. Marcus reached into his desk drawer. He pulled out a letter, yellowed with age and wear. Isabella's handwriting covered the page. She wrote this before dying, he said gently. Asked me to help if anything happened to her. But I never received it. Ezra read the letter slowly. His mother's handwriting brought memories. She had loved him so. Much more than words could ever express fully. Dear Marcus, the letter began. If you're reading this then. Something terrible has happened to me. I have a son named Ezra who needs help. I never told you about him because I was too proud to ask for your assistance. But he's brilliant and kind, just like his grandfather was. Please watch over him, Marcus. He has no one else in this world to care about his future dreams. She asked me to care, Marcus continued, to be your guardian angel. But the letter was lost in her personal effects. But I never got help, Ezra protested, until the computer appeared suddenly. Marcus smiled through his tears. I've been helping secretly always. Your aunt's job at hospital, the scholarship fund for school. The computer was just beginning. You did all that really? Ezra's voice held wonder now. For me, an aunt. Your mother saved my life, Marcus explained. She stayed late one night. Found me collapsed in office. Panic attack at 28 years old and completely alone. She called paramedics immediately then, he continued. Rode with me to hospital. Stayed until doctors said okay. Never left my side once. I would have been alone, Marcus whispered. Without her quick thinking there. She was my angel. She never told me anything, Ezra said softly. About you or that night when you needed help. She didn't want credit ever, Marcus replied. Just wanted to help people when they needed it. That was her way. The room fell silent for moments. Two people mourning someone special. Someone who connected them forever. Through love and loss. What happens now exactly? Ezra asked. To me, an aunt. Marcus smiled warmly this time. You'll stay with aunt always. But you'll never lack for anything again ever. College fund is already established, he continued. Best schools in America. Your mother would be proud of the man you'll become. Really? Ezra's eyes lit up. I can go to college. Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Marcus nodded. Wherever you want to go. Whatever you want to study. The sky's the limit now. But there's one condition attached, Marcus added seriously. You must promise me something very important here. What? Ezra leaned forward eagerly. I'll do anything at all. Help others like your mother, Marcus said. Use your gifts for good. Make the world better. One person at a time. I promise, Ezra said solemnly. I'll help other kids. Kids like me who need someone to believe in them. Your mother would be proud, Marcus smiled. So very proud of you. 3 months later, everything changed. Ezra's grades soared to top. His computer skills impressed everyone. He helped other students freely, without expecting anything in return. The library became his second home. Ms. Chen watched him grow. He tutored kids every afternoon. Math, science, reading skills. Look at you, she smiled. A teacher already at 9 years old and helping others. My mom wanted me to, Ezra replied. Help others who need it. Just like she helped people. Marcus visited the library regularly. He watched Ezra teach quietly. Isabella's son had her heart. And her generous spirit. She would be so proud, Ms. Chen said one day. Of both of you. And what you've become. He's going to change things, Marcus replied. Just like his mother did. In her own quiet way. Years passed with quiet progress. Ezra graduated high school early. Full scholarship to MIT awaited. Marcus kept his promise faithfully. Every step of the way. The graduation ceremony was emotional. Ezra stood at the podium. Looking out at proud faces. Marcus and Ms. Chen beamed. From the front row. Education changes everything for everyone. Ezra spoke clearly. One computer, one kindness act, can transform a life completely. The audience applauded his words. Marcus wiped away proud tears. Isabella lived on through Ezra. Her legacy of kindness continued. I don't have a computer, Ezra quoted his younger self. Those words changed my life. Someone heard my silent cry. And answered with love. He paused, looking at Marcus. Sometimes angels wear business suits. Sometimes they watch from afar, waiting for the right moment. To change everything forever. My mother taught me kindness, he continued. Marcus Blackwood showed me possibility. Together they saved my future. And gave me hope. Now I promise to help, Ezra concluded. Every child who whispers desperately, I don't have a computer. Or any other dreams. The crowd rose in ovation. Ms. Chen dabbed her eyes. Marcus stood proudly in back. His promise to Isabella fulfilled. Later that evening, 3 people met at table 7 quietly. The same library table where everything had started years ago. Come here often, Marcus joked. This old place. Every day, Ezra laughed back. It's home to me. Where dreams begin and grow. Ms. Chen brought tea quietly. To Isabella, she said softly. Who brought you together miraculously. Through love and loss. To Isabella, they said together. 3 lives forever connected now. By love, loss, and hope. The strongest bonds of all. The library clock struck 7. Golden light filtered through windows. Dust particles danced in beams. Some things never change beautifully. But some things change everything. One computer, one kindness act, one silent promise kept forever, can transform the world completely. The boy who once whispered, I don't have a computer, now owned a technology company, helping kids everywhere dream bigger and reach higher than ever. The promise was kept perfectly. Isabella's legacy lived on completely. In every child helped. In every dream realized. In every act of kindness. Sometimes the best gifts come from the most unexpected places. Sometimes angels watch from afar until the moment is right to change everything forever. The silent promise was fulfilled. Love found its way home. Through tragedy, through time, through the simple act of caring about another human being.